Latest on the intensifying tropical storm Michael, which is not too far from hurricane status, now at 60 miles per hour, pressure 997 millibars and gradually developing, likely to reach hurricane status sometime tomorrow we expect. It's currently at 20.1 north, 85 degrees west. Here is the wind field, which has grown quite a bit since the last update, now a stage 3 on the CDPS scale, owing partially to its very slow movement at this time. It is going to get a bit of a move on later on. 117 miles from Cozumel, 140 from Cancun in Mexico, 181 from the Cuban city of Pinar del Rio, 368 from Key West, and 563 from Tampa. That makes it 700 and something from the New Orleans, Pensacola region. There is the tropical storm warning, unchanged from our earlier update. Pinar del Rio, the Isle of Youth, Tulum to Cabo Catoche in Mexico, and Cozumel, of course. And tropical storm force winds are certainly possible, especially in Cuba there. And this is what we expect over the next few days from the latest GFS model run, showing you the track and possible intensity of this storm as it continues to move up through the Gulf. That's where it would be doing most of its intensifying, and then landfall somewhere we expect at the minute in Florida. Maybe in between Pensacola and Panama City, but that is speculation really. And then the track will take it inland towards the northeast, unfortunately over some of those Florence hit areas, and then out over the western Atlantic in the mid-latitudes. These are the current sea surface temperatures, around 28 or 29 degrees Celsius. They were just about popping up above 30 earlier on today. And here's another look at the forecast. The green areas denoting tropical storm force winds, the Leslie just moving off the right hand side of the screen there. And here's Michael, the yellows indicating hurricane status, and you can see there a hurricane landfall, category 1 at least according to the GFS, moving inland towards the northeast and then out back as over, by the looks of things, a pretty potent extratropical cyclone moving off the coast of the northeast. So that pretty much is going to be the story of Michael, but the real story is how much will it intensify. But these are the chances of tropical storm force winds: 52% now in Cancun, 17 in New Orleans, 40 in Mobile, 50 in Pensacola, and 68 in Panama City. Those percentage chances rising already. How strong exactly will it get to? That is very much up for debate. It's probably the biggest area under contention right now. Here's the latest intensity guidance. You may have seen the earlier one that said 1 or 2 models put it up to category 4 status. They've backed down to category 2, and I think a category 2 peak is probably the fairest scenario to call for right now, but we do have to be on guard for a possible strengthening beyond that. Storms have done it in the past. A lot of people comparing this storm to Opal 23 years ago, almost to the date. In 1995, that became a strong category 4 storm approaching the US coast. What is potentially good news is that very rarely do these storms make landfall at their peak on the Gulf Coast. It is quite possible that this storm will do some weakening before making landfall, but I think it is very likely that hurricane conditions will be felt somewhere along the US Gulf Coast. Here's how it has been looking in the recent frames. It's still got some work to do before it gets to hurricane status, but it has intensified, ramped up that intensity over the last few hours. I think in a 6-hour period or less, it's gone from 40 miles an hour up to 60. So by that logic, it could be a hurricane by tomorrow, and that's what we're expecting sometime during the next 24 hours. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.